welcome back to my channel. I want to make this trending bubu style and I have just 2 meters of material, so but I achieved this. So let's go and find out how possible it is that just 2 meters of this material made this beautiful bubu dress. So let's go and find out. First, I will start by folding the material into two. So as you can see, I folded into two, and since I have just 2 meters of material, I'm going to be folding the front side, the side that is cut, into 4. So I will just bend it. I want to bend it into 4, and the side that is cut, I will just consider that as the front, because I know that later on I'll still cut the material. So I'm putting in some pegs, some pins, so that I can pin it down very well so that it will not be moving. So all of that gives me 19 millimeters. So I measure 3 millimeters for the neck, the width of the neck, and for the length of the front I'll be measuring 8 millimeters. For the back, I'll be measuring, going back down, I'll be measuring 1 millimeters down for the back. Okay, that's done. Then let me curve it out. Okay, with that done, let me turn the material to lay horizontally so that I can measure out the lengths, the different lengths. So the first length I'm going to measure out is the arm opening, which I'm going to be considering it as 13 millimeters. Then for my butt measurement, from the shoulder to the butt is 25. So I've measured that one out. Then I'll be drawing a line to join both points together, so that I'll be working with specific measurement. Let me measure out the length of the dress. I'll be taking the full length. Okay, my butt measurement is 43. I'll divide it by 4, which is 11, and the bottom part of the dress, I'll measure out that 11. So for extra allowance, I'm going to add 2 millimeters to that. I'm going to add extra 2 millimeters, so that's the bottom. So the total is 13 millimeters that I have at the bottom. So now let me go to the top. I folded it so that it will be visible in the screen. So the top, from the armhole, I'll measure 16, and then I will draw a straight line linking both points together. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use part of this material, the rest of it, the part that I'm going to cut off, I'm going to be using it to make a fold that I'll be using in the front and for the neck and the front, and I'll increase the arms a bit because I feel like the arms that I'm using is short. So I've joined those points together, and now I curve the armhole. Now let me cut the neck. I'm cutting just the back. For the front, we'll cut it later on. Then I'm going to sew the sides, because you remember that I joined everything, and I joined everything from the side. So okay, that's done. Let me cut the arms. So I'm going to go and sew and come back. Okay, with that done, this is how it looks. You can see that I've equally added the arms a bit. Let it be a bit longer. So this is what I did. I joined it together into the rest of the material into a long material. So let me join the dress together, join both arms together and open it wide, so that I can now curve the front opening. So remember that I measured 8 millimeters, so that's the 8 millimeters, and from the front I'm going to be measuring 1. Normally at times you can measure 2, but I'll measure 1 because I don't have I have limited material. And I'll be drawing a straight line from the neck to that point. Then from there I will draw a straight line to the end of the material, and then I will cut it out. Working with limited material, you need to be very tactful not to make a mistake, and then later on you realize that the dress doesn't really look the way it's supposed to look. So I've cut that out, and this is how it looks. Let me turn it round so that you can see how it looks. So that's it. That's the front, that's the back. That done. I'm going to proceed now to measure the shoulder line, so that you will see where I'm going to make the fold. So from the shoulder, I measure 5 millimeters on both sides. 5 millimeters on both sides. Then from the 5 millimeters, I'm going to equally measure 6 millimeters away from there towards the arm. And with that 6 millimeters, I'm going to divide it into two, which will give me 3, because I want the fold to be large by 3 millimeters, sorry. So I've turned the material, because normally I'm going to do it from the right side. So I've measured 16 millimeters on the front and 16 millimeters on the back, along that line, along the number 3 line, 3 millimeters line, and I draw a straight line linking both points together, the back and front. And that is where I'm going to be doing the fold. I'm going to sew right there, from there to 16 millimeters in front, and from the shoulder to 16 millimeters to the back. So this is how it looks. Let me turn it in front and you look at it very well. So this is what we get. So I'm going to use the remaining rope, or how can I call it, to form the neck. The rope that I made to form the neck. So this is how it looks. I've already done that. I didn't want to bore you so much with the sewing in this video, so I'm just doing it and showing you the results. So I'm going to be joining the neck, but first let me put the inner ropes for extra firmness inside the dress, or if I want to make. So I measure to my waist, from the shoulder to my waist on both sides. So I put it at 19, but later on I had to change it a bit to go up a bit, because 19 is right down. So I went back up to 16. So from the middle of the dress, I measured 2 millimeters backwards on the waistline. But you can equally measure any dimension that you want, depending on how you want the dress to hold you together. So now I'm going to be joining the neckline and the front together. So I'm going to join that. I want to place it very well, then I'm going to sew it straight, but the downer part I'm going to leave some opening down there. I finished sewing. Let me cut the arm so that for ease, then I'll wear the dress so that you can see how it looks on me. And here we go. You know, this is always the very best part of the video for me. I like when I've sewn the dress and I'm wearing it to do modeling. I'm sure I actually miss my vocation. I should have been a model. So this is how it looks. Very nice, very elegant, very classy. Rich auntie vibes. That's what it's giving. It's giving rich auntie vibes. So thanks very much for watching this far, and please subscribe to my channel, and please share, like, comment.